So I'm going to show you how to test to see if there are mobs, and specifically to see if they are dead. If you are trying to make a mini game where people go through different levels defeating mobs and then like a door opens or they get something, then what I'm going to show you will be perfect for that. So basically what I'm going to show you is how to test to see if mobs are dead so that something else can happen once they're dead, or to make sure nothing happens before they're all dead. So what you're going to go ahead and do is you're going to give yourself a command block, which is the /give command, @s command block. And you're going to click enter. If you don't already know some basic commands, I suggest that you learn some before you get into command blocks. I do have a video on the basics of command blocks, so if you need to go watch that, you can. Or you can just wing it like I do. So, now that you have your command block, you can see here that I have a couple different mobs. I have some skeletons, I have some drowns, and I have some zombies. So what I'm going to show you first is the test for the mobs. So, hang on, let me face it this way. Okay. It doesn't matter which way you face it, I'm facing it this way for myself, and so that you can see the mobs. So you're going to go ahead and get in there, and what I'm going to show you first is how to test for one specific mob. So you're going to type in test4 @e bracket type equals zombie. Make sure you spell it right. Okay. Go ahead and add a lever or something. And there. It found 4 zombies. Okay? And you can change that to skeleton. And it found 4 skeletons. You can enter any type of mob here. Say, you can enter any type of mob here. Now, here's the thing. All it's doing is it's testing to see if there are those mobs, and then it's going to tell you how many there are. But if that mob is not there, then it won't do anything. So I don't have any spiders in the world, so I'm going to type in spider. And you can see that it doesn't say that it found spiders. But when you go into the command block, you can see that says no targets match the selector. That means that it didn't find any spiders. Okay? That's how you search for one specifically. Now, if you want to search for, let's say, skeletons and spiders, here's something, skeletons and zombies. Here's something I don't understand why it doesn't work. We're going to type in skeleton. Oops, skeleton. Okay, and then normally you would do comma type equals zombie. Okay, and you're going to do that, and it doesn't do anything. And you come in here and it says duplicate type arguments. That means it's not the command. It just doesn't work. Specifically for Bedrock, I think. I don't know why, but you could always just do this. If you want to, you're testing for just a few of them, what you would do is you would just add another command block, make it chain active, and then when you go over here, you do that, it says it found the skeletons and it found the zombies. Now, I don't know. I don't know how to explain why that doesn't work. But here's something that does work. Trying to test for all mobs. Then all you have to do, well, first of all you would have to do is this. And then it'll test for all mobs. And I can show you that real quick here. See, it found skeletons, drowns, and zombies. But here's the thing. If what you're doing, all mobs need to be dead for the player to move on. If this command block sees that there are still mobs alive, it's not going to do the next thing you need to do, which I'm going to show you here in a second what I'm talking about. But since players are counted as mobs, you'll have to do type equals exclamation point player. Okay, so what it's going to do is it's going to test for, and it's going to say it found the drowned, zombies, and skeletons. It did not search for a player. Also, what you want to be aware of, items are also counted as entities. So if there's an item on the ground and all the mobs are dead, it's not going to work. The player's not going to be able to move on because it's going to see that there's an item on the ground. So to prevent that from affecting the game, you can do this. I know I showed you that if you do type equals zombie, type equals skeleton, it doesn't work. But you can do type equals exclamation point player, type equals exclamation point item. Okay, by the way, the exclamation point means not. So it's saying test for all entities except for player and except for item. So I'm going to show you real quick. It found the drowned, found the skeleton, found the zombie. Here, if I drop this command block right here, it didn't search, it didn't look for the command block. If I get rid of this and show you this again, where it's just not going to search for me, it found a command block, it found zombies in it, yada yada. Okay, so I'm going to add this back. Type equals not item. Here's another thing. You can add this as long as you want. So I'm going to say you have some villagers in your game and you don't want them to die. Then you would also put not villager. And here I'm going to summon a villager. And then I'm going to... Oh, got in my way. It's trying to make me buy some stuff. And here you can see that it did not search for the villager. Okay, so how to use this in the way you want to use it. So, again, you're making a game. And in the first room, you have to kill some skeletons, some zombies, and some drowns. Or in one of the rooms. Okay. Once you've killed all of them, you're going to be given an item. Okay, but if you haven't killed all of them, nothing's going to happen. So what you want is you want to have test for all entities except for player, except for item, and except for villager. If you want villagers to be counted, go for it. You're going to add another command block here, and we are going to do an if-then command statement. If you don't know what that is, you're going to want to watch my video on if-then command statements. If you don't care to know what it is and you just want to follow along, that's good too. I went ahead and put everything you're going to need. You want your first one to be the test for your mobs. And then you're going to put a set block. The set block is going to be right here. You can put it anywhere, but it's easier to have it right here. So you find this coordinate, and then you put set block, that coordinate, and then stone. And then here in this next one, you're going to want to have nothing. Ignore what this says right here. In this one, you're going to test for a block again. That's going to be in this same space right here. Sorry, I said test for block again. Right here, you're going to do a test for block. A test for block, this coordinate I'm at, and air. For this one, you're going to put set block, that coordinate, air. And then you're not going to put anything in this one. And then this last one's going to be the give, or whatever you want to happen if all mobs are dead. And so I just put give at p equal ingot. Okay, now what should happen when I click this button is nothing should happen, because if you don't know what conditional versus unconditional is, you can go look at my video on basic command blocks and skip to understand what the conditional versus unconditional is. But I can go ahead and give you a quick little run through. This is a conditional block. I have it right here. This is conditional. I'm going to show you. This is unconditional. Impulse needs redstone. Chain, conditional, always active. This is also chain, conditional, always active. This is chain, unconditional, always, unconditional, always active. These two are the same. These two are the same. So these three are chain, unconditional, always active, and this one is chain, conditional, always active. And so what's going to happen? What conditional is when the block before it has to run successfully for the conditional block to run. So what's going to happen when I push this lever is the mobs, it's going to test for the mobs, and it's going to say that the mobs are there. So it's going to set this block, it's going to set this block here, it's going to set stone, and then it's not going to do anything, and it's going to skip right here, and this one's going to test for air, and it's going to say that there's no air there, and then it's going to set air there. And this one's not going to do anything, and then this give is not going to work because this block here works off of the block before it right here. So since this one is searching for air, but there will be stone right here, it's going to fail, and since this is a conditional, it can't run because the one before it was unsuccessful. So let me show you. I'm going to click this button. You see, all it did was tell me that it found the mobs, but it did not give me a gold ingot. Now if I do /kill at E, kill them, now you can see that there are items dropped. I'm going to click this button, and it's going to say successful, and it's going to give me a gold ingot. So what happened there was it tested, and it was unsuccessful. So this one didn't run, and because this one didn't run, this one didn't run, which there was nothing to do here anyway. But this one tests for air, and at that time there was air there. So this one just put air there to make sure that air stays there, basically. And then since this one found air successfully, it was able to give me a gold ingot. It's a really good thing if you understand conditional versus unconditional and the if-then statement, because it'll make a lot more sense. Yeah. Okay, so I brought back some more mobs. Now, here's the thing. In your game, you do not want this to be set on impulse, because you don't want someone to have to keep going up to it and pressing the lever. What you want is you want this to be a repeat, and you want it to be always active. Now what it's going to do, it's going to keep telling me that it's finding skeletons and stuff. Now let me take this off repeat real quick. What you want to do to make sure that doesn't show up is you do /game rule. Oops, can't spell. Game rule. Command block output. If you're on keyboard, just press tab and it'll autofill the very first option over here. So command block output is what you want, and you want to put that to false. Click enter, and now I'm gonna let everything in the screen go away. Now when I change it to repeat, it doesn't show me anything. So it's just continuously looking for the mobs. Now if I do /kill at E, then it's going to continue giving me gold ingots because it's repeatedly working through this. Now if you don't want that to happen, because you probably don't, you can then add a, after it gives you something, it'll do fill. You'll find this coordinate right here, so -2, -60, -9. You'll do /fill -2, -60, -9, and you'll do air. You're gonna want to fill. Okay, and I went ahead and spawned some more skeletons. Now we're going to change this back to repeat and always active. And you see that nothing's happening because it's continuously finding skeletons, but once I do a /kill, it gets rid of the first block because it filled that space with air, so it stopped it from continuously doing over and over again, and then it gave me 1 gold ingot. And yeah, one more thing actually I can show you is if you want to specify a radius, let me find a radius. We'll say right here, -10, -60, -11. You're going to do test for at E at X equals -10, Y equals -60, Z equals -11, R equals, we'll do, that's radius, we'll do a radius of 5. Type equals not player, type equals not item, type equals, what's happening, equals not villager. Close that bracket, and then I'm gonna go ahead put this here. Okay, so what it's gonna do is it's gonna test for the skeleton right in that coordinate in the radius. Oh, I forgot hand. Command game rule, command block output, set that back to true. Okay, oops. It says it found the skeleton. Now if I put, it's only going to find 1 skeleton because it's not in the radius of 5. If I kill this one, okay, it's not going to find any skeletons. Well, it found an experience orb, so you would also want to add type equals not experience orb. We're gonna go with that, but as you can see, okay, gosh, it didn't find it didn't find the skeleton because it was just searching from this point to a radius of 5. But that is how you test for mobs. That's how you use the test for mobs for like a game, and hope that helped you. See you in the next video.